Now that you cleared Spireton, the archive is up for grabs. I suggest handing it to the faction that won't gum up its controls with Sprat Crisp grease.
OK， 我上次玩到哪边了？玩到这个非凡样本，可是我现在没有那个医疗的技能，所以进不去啊。这边我要制造兴奋剂的话，医学必须要有4，然后做的兴奋剂要放到这边的分配器里面来。可是我现在医学没有，我现在的医学是0啊，我现在医学是0，所以我现在不能这一段不能玩。那我要先离开咯。我先去处理主线任务好了。等一下，我先来这边处理主线任务好了。而我今天想到一个东西，就是我这把枪，这把枪。好吧。
You are here for a reason? Of course you would.
You bring a cultist into my presence? I hope this isn't a sign you've lost your nerve. Or are you planning on removing the cultists from Newton one at a time, like this one here? I was expecting different results.
Well, then it seems today is your lucky day. The Dawn and Newton have been dealt with. By us. Care to hear all the bloody particulars? Of course. How could you think otherwise? That was the best part.
You saw a problem and followed your own methods to solve it. I can admire that. Here's something for your trouble. If you removed Newton's unsightly blemish, I believe you may be trustworthy. I have reason something predicted has come to pass. One of the satellites comprising the Hyperion web was struck by a wayward craft and crashed on Paradise Island. I need someone to recover an informational component from it. The web is an order-crafted network of information collection satellites. Our would-be protectorate overlords squandered them as glorified surveillance devices. We actually implanted a back door in the web to bring it back under our control, should a circumstance like this arise. But we did not foresee certain Protectorate modifications. But let's not speak of that. Find a way past the Protectorate at the crash site, collect the data, and return it here. Violence is likely, but perhaps you'll find an alternative. Only theoretically. The Protectorate guarding the site will be anything but welcoming. You'd likely need to find something, or someone, to wrest their attention away from you. I cannot say how that might be accomplished, unfortunately. Some of our scholars find answers to their solutions at the CAF integration point. Perhaps you might do the same. Collect the data from the crashed site and return it here. May the odds prevail against your bloody demise.
Have an update about that personal matter. You know, the one that might, end the universe. The other universe-ending thing. Back at Winter's Grasp, I found someone was continuing Anais, Sir Bujold's research. Believe I have a lead on their identity. I wholly agree. I pieced together information from earlier leading to Golden Ridge on Dorado. Oddly enough, to the anchor hold at Matriarch's Mercy Monastery. I had Val set the location on our map. I recognize we're juggling multiple crises, but I'd suggest we journey there sooner than later. Inquire away. I may even respond. More than anyone alive, I suppose. Not that I agree with all of her stated conclusions. In our time at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection, I gained many colleagues. But the work had cognitive demands. Let's say I possessed more associates than friends. Personal connections just get in the way in my line of work. Better to be free of hindrance, focused, efficient, mean. In a typically roundabout fashion, more or less. Not sure how she concluded that so quickly, but it was a reasonable hypothesis based on available data. Of course I know who I am, though. I'm a killer. Nothing more, nothing less. May all our endeavors yield expected results.
Let us make our way to Paradise Island at once. My blood boils at the Consul's gall. Overtaking the Sovereign at this most vulnerable time for the Protectorate. He will pay 1,000 times for this treachery. Any fool enough to stand beside him will fall as well. Justice will spare none. None! Certainly. I consider myself an open tome. Virgil and I are just as close as any blood-related set of individuals. He is a true and able ally, one to be relied upon in almost any circumstance. We make extremely effective compatriots. Where I am swift to action, Virgil often contemplates his deeds before they come to pass. I fear this war favors myself more than him. It's a shame there may only be one supreme arbiter. I would enjoy continuing to work beside Virgil. But alas, it is not to be.
This is Protectorate territory, all right. Ain't looking to instigate anything, Commander. But if these bastards make any threat on my person, no promises.
Don't get any closer to it. Void-brained idiot, put down the bottle and stop doing stupid shit. Get away from there.
Quit your worrying. Ain't nothing gonna happen.
Gary!
Oh, damn. He's just gone.
Not again! Wait, are your lamps busted? Don't go near it! You saw me try to stop him, right?
Hey now. Invasive element!
All charged up.
Measures at the ready,
Back in.
I'd do it for you.
You can't fight!
You have my thanks and my hammer. Those fools. Protectorate subjects should know better than to attack a Protectorate arbiter. The only explanation is that they were lackeys of the Consul. Why else would they engage someone such as myself without expecting reprisal? Then they should have reported me to their superiors rather than attempting to exact justice themselves. I shall continue to answer slights of this nature through violence. But hopefully, I shall not need to do this more than a few times.
Stop right there, Arbiter Rao. Though I am here on official business, I would prefer to keep this cordial. The Consul seeks answers related to your recent activities. I approach you openly in the hopes that you will comply with his request and come with me peaceably.
What do you blather about? Delay me and you will pay the price. Not only do I have more pressing business with a colleague, but I do not answer to Sentinels or the Consul.
His loss. I heard Auntie's in the market for a big, dumb, winsome bodyguard. He'd be paid handsomely in Spratwurst and backhanded compliments.
Questions of intent. Now, what shall it be, Arbiter Rao? I sent the message that drew you here. Virgil shall not arrive to aid your decision-making.
Virgil's not coming, you say? Curious. And here I was thinking I was already present.
Virgil! Touting your flair for the dramatic, even now, I see. But I fear our reunion must wait until we've dealt with this pawn of the Consul.
I had not expected a third party, but it is so much the better. I'm afraid you must come with me as well, Arbiter Montag.
A sentinel demanding anything of me? What madness! Neither Tristan nor I shall accompany you anywhere. Any attempts to force us shall be met with violent reprisal.
I'm somewhat embarrassed to acknowledge that, in my haste to see Virgil, I seem to have led us into a trap. Though ironically, it appears Virgil has been caught as well.
This fool impersonated my credentials, triggering a system alert that led me here. A lowly deception, even for one of the Consul's own.
It was a necessary deception, and one not undertaken lightly. Its aim was to draw your colleague here without bloodshed, for I know he would not have arrived at my request.
Your explanation does not pull my heartstrings, Sentinel. Yet you at least had the sense not to assail us outright. Surrender, and perhaps you may yet live.
You may not believe me, but I have much admiration for the work you and Arbiter Montag have done for the Protectorate. I've no wish to fight. Enough loyal subjects have died in this war. Come willingly and peaceably, I beseech you.
It's possible this is a ploy, and the Consul is on to Virgil and I. But if that is so, why lure me here, then meet me openly when Perrault could have ambushed me from behind?
Are you mad? Because he seeks to lower your guard, then strike. Surely you don't intend to converse with him about it?
I trust Sentinels no more than you, but I am using this situation to gather information, which I would expect you would also do if you weren't so focused on haranguing me.
I appreciate the support. Though we are not related by blood, I suppose we are just as wont to bicker with one another as true brothers.
Conversation is not likely to distract me from my purpose. I am here to kill no one, but unless there has been some kind of mistake, you must still submit to me.
This conversation is a farce, but Tristan and I are equals. I wish not to act without his agreement.
For my part, I may suspect the Consul's agents, but I do appreciate that the circumstances of their role is unique. If a fellow Protectorate citizen engages me in combat, I am within my rights to defend myself. But this Sentinel has come to me openly, under the norms of Protectorate law. From his perspective, I could almost see his point. Quite right. What do you have in mind? Very well. But be warned, I'm not exactly trained in the art of improvisation. We'll need a very good reason for my not answering the Consul's summons.
Come now, do you expect me to believe that? Not only are you not in shackles, but you're also still alive. I can't imagine Arbiter Rao would have allowed that willingly.
Yes. When you ran through burning leaves to save those Protectorate children, I knew you'd truly given up your criminal upbringing.
I see. It would appear I misjudged this situation after all. I must reinterpret my orders. Accosting you illegally and the subsequent punishment would be mortifying.
So he's chosen not to attack, but the situation has not changed. We spare him. His master gains another tool to cover up the Supreme Arbiter's death.
What are you talking about? I do not seek to hide the Supreme Arbiter's death. I seek to find her killer. Such was next on my list of duties, after I apprehended you.
This is all clearly a tactic on the Consul's behalf. By sending out his agents, he seeks to deflect suspicion from himself. That is, if our compatriot here speaks true.
What must you think of me, or my fellow Sentinels, that you'd even suggest I'd lie to arbiters? I'm not the one positing scurrilous accusations about our beloved Consul. But you needn't take me at my word. My next assignment was to investigate the Oculus collating post. A hidden room there may contain information pertinent to the investigation. I cannot speak to its purpose, only that it is strange and worthy of investigation.
Or it is yet another falsity, intended to draw us close before snapping our necks.
It's a risk worth taking. I can endure whatever the Consul sends my way, and if there is a minuscule chance that this Sentinel speaks true, we must investigate.
I'm pleased to be of service, in some manner or another. Protectorate subjects should aid one another. Secret is a misnomer. The room appears to have been built by mistake, but someone forestalled its demolition without marking it on station blueprints. This is what is suspect. I will take my leave of the lot of you, and in peace. It is my sincere hope that circumstances are as you claim, lest we be forced to meet again.
I shall follow him out, just to certify he intends to act as he speaks. That's done with. He left peaceably, as he said, though I have my doubts for how long.
That was some impressively savvy improvisation before, Commander. Without you, circumstances would have certainly devolved into a battle to the death.
I'll spare you my doubts for the umpteenth time, Tristan. I just hope the risk is worthwhile.
I appreciate your caution, but it is quite unnecessary. My comrade and I will look into Oculus collating post. Yes, but never for long, and it's been many years. I also have no recollection of any hidden room, so we may have some hunting to do. I regret we've not had more time to talk, Virgil. It has been ages.
Worry not. I'm certain we'll have plenty of time to converse when you've finished your investigation. I have several leads of my own to pursue, as a matter of fact. Until our paths cross again, my friend.
过不去啊。居然拿到一把缩小枪，这应该很少用到吧？好了，我要继续我的任务了。
I recall this place. These stations have been automated since my day, though this one has certainly accrued dust. Odd that it would be in a state of lockdown. I have a general override that should allow us entry, but anything specific to local systems, including security systems, may be beyond me. What in the faces? These security measures should not be operational. The station seems to be on reserve power. We'd best tread carefully. defenders here, lying in ambush. Perhaps some stray systemic error activated the entryway defenses. We'd best first report to security ops. Lift this lockdown. From there, we can set about reactivating the station's primary power, which will allow us to explore unhindered. Is that a footprint in the dust? This station shouldn't have received visitors in years. Be on guard. Someone else may be here. My passcode shall not work on this terminal. Unlocking it may be a creative endeavor. Good effort lifting the lockdown. We may now reactivate the station in the reactor room. The reactor activation circuits shall likely be dysfunctional. It's a known issue with these old stations. Let me look. Corroded transistors, dust in the actuator. Did a sprat gnaw on this? Sweet sovereign, got a mess. There. I think I have it. Let us hope my override does not trigger any security alerts. Good. This should avail us of a much simpler search. Let us return to the central room once more and see if anything seems out of place.
Raring to go.
Tolerances exceeded. Be wary for anything that may be a clue as to the hidden room's location. I cannot say I have had to search for a hidden switch in a protectorate holding before. Keep watch. It could be rather small and well hidden. I'm certain of movement below. Gird yourself with determination, for it seems...
Passcode is limber. No. Let's try amulet. No. Wingtip. No. Sovereign's gavel. I should remember this. Damn it! Ambergris can't be it. That's too short for a facility like this. Wait. Oh, no.
Of the strategies of feigning innocence I have seen, this is certainly the most pathetic. I accuse you of trespassing upon the private domain of the Sovereign. For these crimes... Wait. I know you. Luther Okada? What in blazes are you doing here? And why do you wear a Sub Rosa uniform?
Because I work for Sub Rosa? More than that, I don't think I can say, Cadet Rao. Mostly because I'm not supposed to, but also because I can't remember.
Okada is, or was, a petty troublemaker, though a crafty one. As cadets, Virgil and I apprehended him often. Sometimes Virgil let him go, but he usually went to mental refreshment.
Often enough to know the technicians by name. Until I forgot them again.
This truly is no ploy. But mental refreshment is supposed to return wayward subjects to the proper path, not cause... whatever this is. Despite his faults, the Okada I knew was ultimately benign. But the fact remains that he now trespasses in a secure facility. Duty dictates that I must execute him. That's a wise path. One that shall give me time to contemplate what must be done.
An Arbiter used the word execute in the last few seconds, yet I remain alive? Didn't think that was possible. He and the other one must have put me away close to 12 times each. I used to be something of a ne'er-do-well.
Ne'er-do-well is a polite term. He was a repeat malefactor. I believe last time we met, he'd vandalized a janitorial automech in an attempt to make it spew profanity.
I got 18 months of hard labor for that. Served me right.
That's interesting, but it must be false. Sub Rosa is a large organization. Whoever asked for Okada must have wanted him specifically. But why?
I didn't used to be like this. I can still sneak with the best of them. Not being able to remember doesn't make me any worse as an agent. It doesn't.
Any of my fellow arbiters would have killed you before this conversation began. But I can't decide whether to disdain or pity you.
I was sent here to do a specific job, but some of the details are hazy. Gives me conniptions. I was hired by an anonymous third party. They provided me with the station's location and credentials to bypass its defenses. May have tripped a few on my way here. Can't recall. I was told the station was abandoned, which it clearly isn't, and to break into this terminal and delete the information on it. That is all I know. I don't even know the name of this station.
Ignorance does not excuse criminal action. Even if you did not know the severity of this infiltration, it remains a deadly serious infraction. I don't know that I can. He is a trespasser. His slipping mind matters not. I am familiar with the concept, but in the Protectorate, intent matters little. Manslaughter still results in death. Sedition can happen unconsciously, just as it may consciously. There is a difference. A murderer's family is imprisoned, whereas they are not in the case of incidental death. But I do suppose the perpetrator's punishment does not change. Though this is hardly the place for a discussion about Protectorate law, I do at least see your point. My duty dictates it. Killing Okada may not affect the one who hired him, but his trespass is an indelible fact. He should not be here. That doesn't mean anything. An arbiter cannot trespass. And even if I could, I still act with the Protectorate's best interests in mind. Not out of some base self-interest. Were the situation different, perhaps I could look the other way. But Okada has clearly defected, and is thus not afforded such a luxury. It is fortunate you have gained my trust, for I would not bend to one who had not. Justice must serve a purpose. Okada may live, and I hope we shan't regret it. Begone. You've been granted your final stay of execution. Should our paths ever cross again, you know what will occur.
I didn't think this would happen. Thank you, Cadet Rao. My apologies for all the strife I caused over the years. And you, without you, I would have been reduced to my composite parts. Here, take these. I suppose you'll have more use for them than I, in my present state.
Allowing a Sub Rosa agent to leave with his life in the heart of a protector. Protectorate station. We may have to speak on this further. But let us see what we came here for first. The hint pertaining to the passcode on that terminal, I believe I know the answer. It is contained in a phrase the Supreme Arbiter drilled into our heads for many years. Our work at the refugee camp did not slake your investigative hunger? I doubt you'll be able to surmise it exactly, but come even close, and I shall be impressed. For myself, the Supreme Arbiter, and Virgil especially, if judgment is the Arbiter's gavel, what is the Arbiter's scalpel? Ah, you've got the spirit exactly, if not the word itself. Very nice. An arbiter's gavel is judgment, and an arbiter's scalpel is analysis. Try entering that. From that terminal, it sounds as if the Supreme Arbiter had some sort of business with the Consul. To what end, I wonder? The tone of her response seemed relaxed, but I do not believe she would have met with the Consul unless she had no other choice. And that feckless agent. I don't understand his aim or who he would be working for. Only the Consul. But the Protectorate does not ally itself with Sub Rosa. What could Sub Rosa want with one of our abandoned stations? How could they have known there was anything of note here? Seems this is a question worth continuing to pursue. Well, at least we found what we needed on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I only hope whatever awaits us at Central Control is less tumultuous. As for Okada, I'm not sure what to think. My decision to allow him to go free was at odds with all I have been taught. He was a traitor and should have died. Yet, I cannot help but feel strangely justified. My role does not allow for mercy. I am supposed to uphold the Protectorate's laws. How can I claim thus if I allowed a traitor to go free? Objectively to whom? Damn it! Forget this. Forget it all. I can't allow any specter of doubt to creep into my decisions. Let us list this incident as a fluke and move on. Altogether, I think visiting this station was fruitful for my ultimate task. Hopefully, we'll grow ever closer to discovering the Supreme Arbiter's true killer. And, circumstances aside, I appreciate your accompanying me here, Commander. It means much. Now let us return to the incognito and plan out our next steps.
好了，我这次要把我的技能压在医学上面了，要不然我有一个任务没办法过。但还不够，我的医学必须要到4点。
It would appear our next stop is Praetor, specifically Central Control. I look forward to traveling there, once you've sufficiently prepared. No. The Sentinel worked on the Consul's behalf. I do note that the agent was an odd wrinkle. But that still does not fly in the face of what I believe. Excellent. I look forward to it. Let us make our way to Central Control forthwith.
Smells like paint and agitated dust. Renovations, I surmise. That elevator over there goes to the Supreme Arbiter's old office. I hope the technicians have kept it in working order. I believe what we need is on that terminal. I'll see if I can find my way in. The terminal's locked, which is no surprise. See if you can find some method to bypass its passcode. I sense we close in on something central to my investigation. We simply must live to see it through. Did you hear that? I think something may have unlocked. I think this may unlock the terminal, but the toggle mechanism appears compromised. I shall hold it. You attempt to gain access to the machine. You must finish reading through that terminal.
Consul Thoreau, I'm sure you're surprised to be receiving this message, and thus I can assume you already know my intent. Even considering aligning myself against the Sovereign is like sticking my hand in boiling oil. Yet my dead charges spur me forward. 10 scores of Arcadia's finest, at least 10 scores, died in defense of Golden Ridge. And does the region lie in our control? No. We fled like sprats, all at Varric's behest. I shall lower myself to work with you, Consul. I will help you uphold your plan to... Hold... What in blazes? How long have you been standing there? What did you hear?
I cannot believe what I heard. I cannot. I'm not in denial. I've simply been trained to inspect that which seems unusual. The Supreme Arbiter taught me such, after all. My mentor hated the Consul and was deeply devoted to the Sovereign. She'd never speak thus, unless she was trying to lure the Consul into a trap.
Rao, you really ought to have a sit-down. Were this anyone except your mentor, you'd see this for what it is.
What I'm proposing is eminently plausible. It may be beyond you to see her machinations, but it's obvious to me that this was merely an intricate play. It's all that makes sense. It's not obvious to me. You didn't know her. Wait, do you hear that?
Arbiter Rao, I finally got you. Submit quietly to the Protectorate's justice for your manifold transgressions.
Are you insane? Who are you? And on whose authority do you claim to judge me?
My name is Junior Arbiter Mayhall, and I operate on Arbiter Mandate, as you did once. Now, no questions. This is already going to be difficult enough.
It's logical. The Sentinels have all but taken over central control. It stands to reason the few Arbiters still trained here would only be Sentinels in armored regalia.
I cannot deny that central control has changed, but... what am I saying? I need not defend myself from the likes of you.
Enough! This has been an unpleasant day, and my patience is gone. Your accusations are baseless, and accosting a higher-ranked Arbiter is grounds for arbitration.
They're far from baseless. You stand accused of abandoning your post, of infiltrating Protectorate facilities with opaque aims, and of hampering the Protectorate war effort. There's no discussion to be had with criminals. I needed to see firsthand that Arbiter Rao had abandoned his station. He has, and must meet my judgment.
These accusations of yours are slander. If you believe false bravado shall save you from my wrath, you're sorely mistaken. At Oculus, and again at the Vox, you showed me that the law may be interpreted. Clemency can be granted where before it would be unthinkable. Here my sense of duty clamors to be answered. But as much as it surprises me to admit it, I think you're correct. To this recruit, I've diverged from the path of righteousness. Slaying her for sincerely trying to do what is right would be a farce of justice. I would not, but I know the reality of swaying an arbiter from their chosen path. It's likely this situation may devolve into violence regardless.
What is this insanity? I would never imagine an Arbiter balking from their chosen course. I had hoped Arbiter Rao would come to his senses, but obviously to no avail. I may not wish to judge him. I may not understand what has come over him. It is of no consequence. His crimes against the Protectorate are all that matters.
The ex-Protectorate subject there had been mentally refreshed. Killing him would have accomplished nothing, despite his crimes, as he was merely a pawn to someone else.
That's even worse than I thought. You chose not to do your duty, and expect telling me so would soften my decision to judge you?
The Supreme Arbiter taught me to follow my own sense of justice, and I have. Use your mind. Think about what I did. What you intend to do. Is this moral? Is this right? The reason I have deserted is to search for evidence leading to the true killer of the Supreme Arbiter. I know the concept of evidence is not broadly taught. The Supreme Arbiter taught me to seek out the facts of one who has committed a crime in order to better identify them, in order to avoid judging innocence. This, in turn, would allow me to do my duty more properly, and to improve society as a result. You see, I haven't deserted the Protectorate. I'm conducting my own investigation.
By looking into her death, you go against High Command's official statement. You claim to know better than the Protectorate.
And if I am mistaken, I shall submit myself for judgment. But I have already found evidence to the contrary. All that stands between me and the true killer is you. You're no fool. I can see you understand my reasoning. All that you must decide now is if it is right to render judgment upon me. We don't know that for certain, but to an onlooker, without our knowledge, it could seem that way. And such presumed traitorousness would be very confusing.
Even the Supreme Arbiter has struggled with this? That doesn't seem possible. But I suppose there's no way to ask her now. I shall trust your words. Consider my hand stayed. I can see that judging Tristan would only rob the Protectorate of another of its servants. It seems I must reflect on this matter.
It would appear we're in agreement. Neither of us shall raise a hand against the other. I'm pleased.
Yeah, I bet he is. Just remind him that abstaining from violence ain't the same as chocolates and flowers.
So, what course of action do we take now?
It's important for an Arbiter to use their forebrain. Next time you encounter something as strange as a loyal Arbiter diverging from the path of righteousness, investigate. You may find more questions than answers. But deciphering them and interpreting justice as best we can is how we might serve Arcadia.
Uphold justice in my way. I'll attempt to remember that, Arbiter Rao. Thank you.
Glory to the Protectorate, Junior Arbiter. Make me proud. I'm pleased we were able to resolve that altercation peaceably. Robbing Arcadia of an enthusiastic recruit would have given me little joy.
Huh. You beginning to wean yourself off of eating the shoe polish? This is a good turn, Rao.
You know, I'd even venture to say she reminded me just a little of myself as a lad. All this excitement did not make me forget the confession on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I have to bring it to Virgil. Together, we can discover exactly what transpired. Agreed. I'm not sure of his whereabouts since last we encountered him. I'll send him a message. With luck, we'll hear from him before long.
我拿到一个不是很重要的东西，我还以为很重要呢，没有。然后这些是什么？摄政王之席银记、金记、铜记、金记是恢复生命593，那我现在呢687，好吧。 我在这一个星球上，我还有2个东西没拿到，2个压缩线圈没有拿到。这2个压缩线圈就不太好找。哎，我怎么觉得这个地方，这个凹进去的地方有什么东西啊？我要去那边就要走这一条路，然后往右边走。好，去看一下。
Us. Plasma tolerances exceeded. Plasma tolerances exceeded.
need a target for that. I cannot fight a phantom foe.
啊，还缺2个线圈，我想说继续找，还是我继续其他任务啊？
I suspect the local fauna has correctly identified us as a threat. Stand ready, Commander.
"回船上去吧，我到下一个阶段去好了。那2个线圈后面再来说吧。 我原本戴的那个头盔跑哪去了？这个吧。辅助吸收。 等一下，错了。
That tremendous statue is of Matriarch Alexandra Merrick, founder of the...
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to us? The paradigm is self-centered, derivative on the ground.
My time is yours. You may peruse to your heart's content, but do so speedily for my sake.
Sorry, busy.
Thank you again. It's nice to have a little help around the camp. How can I be of service? My supplies are running low, but then again, so are my bits. Very well. Suppose I can't help anyone if I'm poor.
Oh, I didn't expect us to wander into the scene of a murder, but somehow I'm not entirely surprised. Anomalous events have a way of spreading, multiplying. We should find a way inside. There might be clues to what happened, and where Anais's research is now. They should have been sealed in that room to focus on their studies uninterrupted. No one in or out. I suspect the missing anchorite knows something, at least. We should ask her. Might be some signs in there of where she went. The terminal at Winter's Grasp said Anais's work was sent here. There might be signs of that, or where the missing anchorite got off to. I've had a chance to look around. You seem like you've done a thorough sweep. We should discuss what we've uncovered. Poor thing. Blunt force trauma to the occipital lobe, I believe. Possible signs of an altercation. Might have been an accident. Might not have been. Hard to say with just a superficial glance. At the very least, her choice to make Anchor's run has some explaining to do. A disputation of current order methodology focuses mainly on our presiding bishop, but saves ample room for the laureate council and previous regime as well. I believe I got the gist by efficiently skimming. The general concern is that the order has lost its way. My old department is repeatedly mentioned in a favorable light. Anais's work is regarded highly. I saw that. I believe it was Anchor's Chow's diary. Spoke about regular visits by an exemplar Southworth who requested access to Anais's work. Chow seemed worried they were conspiring about something. That they mentioned an old order research station. That old research facility seems the most likely spot to look next. I know the coordinates on Eden, placed by the name of Point Obviation. I don't know what happened to Anchor's Chow, but leaving a body behind is suspicious. And the disputation reads like a call to arms for any fringe thinkers in the Order. There's no destroying the copies at this point, I'm afraid. We're past that. The research is out there. We need a way to keep anyone from taking it up further in the future. If we go in guns blazing from here, it will only continue. We need a plan to annihilate the idea. This is the exact sort of work we did at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection. Diverting problematic events. We learned how to best respond once things begin to spread. We developed tactics at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection to minimize unforeseeable consequences. We can discuss once we see the situation on the ground. Yes, time to seek out Anchor's Run.
怎么走到这边来了？走在房子里面就没办法快速旅行了。就我下，走到哪里去啊？这边是我刚刚走进来的那一间，然后我之前是从这边过来的，靠，走到都不知道走到哪去了。
The plan can wait. Our lines will not. Good subjects arrive 15 minutes early to avoid missing their tram.
Commander, I have news. I finally heard back from Virgil. His message was suitably vague. I suspect he fears the Consul's eyes scanning his message, but I believe it to refer to the Arbiter training facility located on Paradise Island. Parts of the location can only be accessed by Arbiters. He likely did so to avoid the Consul's spies. There's a certain hominess to it, inasmuch as we have any particular home. Bringing our findings to Virgil will hopefully allow us to deduce something from all that we found. I only hope it dispels some of the muddiness we've encountered so far. Further complications would be most disagreeable.
halt. Abide. Cease any and all manner of perambulation. Don't know who you all are, but unexpected guests are categorically unwelcome here. How'd you even find this place? Maybe I should just shoot you and glean details from your logs.
Ah, Exemplar, if I may. Surely you recognize such a notable member of our cohort, Marisol Delgado. The Endpoint?
I can't recall if I ended whoever came up with that name. Surely hope so.
You were head causality intercessor of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection, right up till the end, correct?
More or less.
Well, what a fortuitous alignment of low probability events this is. Our efforts here are based on your former department. You should confer with Anchoress Brunn straight away.
We actually sought to find you and others of your program, Intercessor Delgado. A serendipitous event, you arriving. Assuming you'll vouchsafe for your colleagues, you may all proceed. You'll find Wilhelmina up the lift, 4th floor.
Welcome to Point Obviation.
Anchoress Brunn is continuing Anais' research from Winter's Grass. I'm sure of it. Best play along for now, until we can ascertain the best course of action.
She's got the right of it. There's far too many guards for us to take on alone.
No, is that Marisol?
The Endpoint herself. I thought she was a myth.
Let's be on our best behavior. Don't even breathe. This experiment seems a mite controversial, dangerous even, both in a physical and mathematical sense.
Your job is intimidation, not risk assessment. The Anchoress knows what she's doing.
Of course. Forgive me. I will look to math as a source of comfort rather than anxiety. Look, everyone! It's the Endpoint. Come to join us, I take it.
I do have a unique interest in what you all are doing here.
I am a long-time vocal exponent of your work, Intercessor Delgado. Hope you don't mind me saying. Go on up. You're expected.
Doubt the Anchoress will walk away from the research lightly. May require some aggressive convincing.
Oh, who's this? Oh, yes, I remember you. We met earlier at the site of my former seclusion. I've heard much of your exploits since. If I recall correctly, you helped prove Anchoress Chow's argument that violence is sometimes necessary. I admit I have modified my stance toward that more recently. I understand your actions led to Seer Wiley's unfortunate demise. Such a bright boy, such promise. And you're Marisol Delgado. We've never met somehow, but I've read your file. An impressive body of work, though often quite mortiferously inclined.
The universal equation occasionally requires subtraction.
Yes, well, to what do we owe the pleasure? Are you familiar with our goals? Come to join up, perhaps, or should I say re-enlist? A truly unfortunate accident. I had posted my disputation and stated my intention to leave. We argued heatedly. Objects were thrown. She stumbled and fell badly. We try to honor her loss. Such tragedy only underlines the importance of our endeavors here. Each day the equation remains unsolved. Countless more tragedies occur. We must succeed at the soonest possible haste. You saw the disputation, though. Tell me, what did you think? You read it, yes? Surely you're aware of the myriad errors of our current presiding bishop and previous regime. One of whom shut down the division that operated here, the other squandered it. Our sect aims to end human suffering, sooner than later. We've taken great inspiration from your former department, from their methods and their science. To solve the universal equation in our lifetime requires bold action, clever calculation, and assiduous work. Yes, we have Grace, that is Exemplar Southworth, to thank for that. Her visits to the Anchorhold were quite thought-provoking, as was the research she showed me from Sia Bujold. Bujold's thinking was unconventional, ahead of her time. Why, in fact, she's here with us now today, overseeing an experiment that proves her researcher's theories.
Really? Seer Bujold is here, at present, in this facility? The one we're presently standing in?
Tut-tut, a mind like that is never out of practice. And the experiment she's overseeing, why, she's orchestrating it masterfully. The intent is to represent the building blocks of the universe within a test chamber, then extrapolate data revealing the universal equation from the micro-universe that forms.
Sounds like it could change everything, one might say.
Why, you should go see for yourself. As former colleagues, I'm sure you'd like to reacquaint. Go on. I'll call down to let her know you're coming. Yes, she's monitoring the experiment. I'll have elevator access unlocked so you can join her. Do please stay in the observation area, though. The work is quite delicate. We'll speak further after you check over Sia Bujold's work and the experiment concludes. Oh, so exciting.